There was a few things that were red flags on this to me, and I kind of ignored them because overall it looked identical to the Royal that I was seeing in all the listings. That's what I like, baby. I like you. It's American Pie with the IQ. Oh, yes, I do. You guys do know I'm just a guy in his garage with 2 golden retrievers, right? Okay, just making sure. We have a lot of stuff to get through today. We've got updates on the sell-through rate experiment. Also, as of hitting record this morning, as soon as I hit the record button, I got my 100th sale in less than 2 months. I got my first VeRO takedown this week. We'll talk about it to where you can learn from my experience. We need to talk about the shipping changes in eBay, my thoughts on it, my opinions on it. Also, there's some big news concerning the channel at the end of the show. Stick with us, get comfortable. Let's go through the weekly numbers. All right, this week was another slow week. I mean, compared to where I started, it's a good week, but we had more sales than last week, a lot less sales than the week before. So let's go through the numbers. First off, we had a 556% return on investment for the week with a net profit margin of 49%. We had a gross income of $388 and a net income of $212. Our busiest day last week was Sunday. I got skunked on Tuesday and Thursday, and then sales started picking back up. Now that is going into the weekend, and the weekends are always where I get more sales. Sunday specifically is where I get the majority of my sales. As a matter of fact, this morning, as soon as I hit the record button to start filming the show, I got my 100th sale in less than 2 months, which is a huge deal. It's so awesome. I legitimately, when I started this, didn't think I was going to get my first sale till 3 months in, and to have 100 sales under my belt in less than 2 months is a huge confidence booster. I'm going to college now, so I have that filling my time besides the eBay reselling. I have gotten good enough at the eBay reselling to where I'm more efficient. I'm quicker with the time of what I'm doing. I'm posting more and it's taking me less time to post more, but mistakes are still made along the way, which we'll talk about coming up. Return on investment by source, Goodwill's winning that one this week, as well as an estate sale. I posted a lot of stuff I got in an estate sale last month this week. Garage sales taking 3rd place, and then a mixture of thrift stores from there on out. Listing by source this week, Goodwill is obviously the big winner. St. Vincent's is a close second. Garage sales are number 3, and then it cascades from different thrift stores and sales I went to throughout the week. Average listing by price this week, still growing that 20 to 50%. I'm trying to get my ASP up and get it above 20, but I still have a lot of items below 20, and those are going to be the bread and butter items that take me into winter that I'm having log stocked, and that I make a decent profit off them, so I'm very happy with those. We did get 68 new listings this week and 13 sales for the week. Average time to sell a product was 18 days. Total money spent on cost of goods this week was $210. Number 10 sale of the week was this Hilti Tools men's polo shirt, 3 extra large. Purchased this polo shirt for $3.09 at a St. Vincent de Paul's. Sold it on eBay for $23. That's $14.40 for the shirt and $8.60 for the shipping. Fixed final value fee of 40 cents. Final value fee of $3.04. International fee again for 41 cents. Ad fee for 49 cents. Cost to ship was $6.09, making my net return $9.48. Good enough for a 307% return on investment and a net profit margin of 41%. The number 9 sale of the week is this Under Armour Heat Gear loose golf polo shirt. I don't want to spoil the 100th sale for next week's episode because I sold it this morning right as I hit record on this episode. Spoiler, it's an Under Armour Heat Gear shirt. I'm not telling you to buy Under Armour Heat Gear shirts, but I'm saying if you find them at a good price, they're always going to be worth $15 to $20 easily. So if you see them, pick them up because they move and they sell. The bigger the size, the better, the more money you're going to get out of it. That's what I've noticed. Anecdotal, but I'm giving you the information that I've learned. This was a size medium. I picked this up for $3.09 at a St. Vincent de Paul's. I sold it on eBay for $20.75. That's $14 for the shirt and $6.75 for the shipping, with a fixed final value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $2.56. The cost to ship was $4.43, good enough to get me a net return of $10.27, which is a 332% return on investment and a 49% profit margin. The number 8 sale of the week is this Shark multi-angle dusting brush. To backtrack a little bit to a couple weeks ago when we started this experiment, I took my first vacuum cleaner and I parted it out. I took all the parts off it that were good. I actually went through all the actual sell-through rates for each individual item, and the experiment we're running was, are the pieces going to sell in the order of highest to lowest sell-through rate? Now, just as a recap, the first thing we sold in this experiment was the bare floor brush, which had a 450% sell-through rate. That did sell right away. As soon as I listed it, it sold right away. And I listed them in order of their sell-through rate. Now, according to my data, if we go by, if sell-through rate is the end-all and be-all to how quick something was going to go, it should have been the bare floor brush, the lower motor, the spinning brush, the wand, the dustbin, the angle brush, the curve brush, the base, and then the reach head. So this is actually, spoiler for this show, this is actually the third piece off the vacuum that sold. I sold 2 pieces this week. This is the angle brush. According to sell-through rate, this was predicted to be the 6th item sold at 41% sell-through rate. It actually ended up being the 3rd item sold. This was a free item, so I purchased it for $0 from home. It was part of my old vacuum. I sold it on eBay for $17.90, which is $12 for the part and $5.90 for shipping, with a fixed vinyl value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $2.30. Did sell on an ad, so I had to give eBay 37 cents. The cost to ship was $4.38, which was good enough for a net return of $10.45, which is an infinite return on investment and a net profit margin of 58%. Next up is this vintage 2002 Care Bear Good Luck plush. I listed this a month ago, and as soon as I listed it, all month, it has had views out the wazoo. I initially listed this for $16.98, and it got views like crazy. It also got a ton of lowball offers. Now, when I looked this up, it had a sell-through rate of about 70%, if I remember correctly, and every single one at the time was going anywhere between $15 to $25. I'm not saying this because it's my product that I introduced to the market, but the last month, out of all the Good Luck Bears that were listed, I truly believe mine was in the best condition. I think I had the nicest one. I took plenty of pictures of it. It was getting views like crazy, and I was getting lowball offers all the time, anywhere from $2 to $6. And there was a period in there when I was going through some slow sales moments where I would get these $6 offers, and I was contemplating, like, do I do it just to get the sale and break the streak? And I just want to say, don't do it. Because even though I went through it, like, do I just break the streak? I said, no, I have the best product on the market. I'm not going to take less than the value of what it's worth. I priced it very fair at $17. I could have easily held out for a few more months and probably gotten $25 for this. But after 3 lowball offers the other day, July 5th, I got 3 lowball offers in the morning. And I don't decline offers. I do counter offers, like, here, I'll let it go for $15. $15 was my, like, basement on this product. That was the least I was willing to take. And everybody was declining it, and then somebody swooped in and paid full asking price, so it sold on eBay for $22.83, which was $16.98 for the plush itself and $5.85 for the shipping, with a fixed final value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $3.03. The cost to ship was $4.31, which was good enough for a net return of $11.07, which is a net profit margin of 48%. The number 6 sale of the week, and the second part of the Shark vacuum to sell, is this premium pet power brush. Now, according to the sell-through rate data, This brush should have sold number 3 on the list, and it had a 90% sell-through rate on eBay. I listed this for $14.98. It took 16 days to sell, but it did sell on eBay for $23.83, which is $14.98 for the brush and $8.85 for the shipping, fixed vinyl value fee of 40 cents, final value fee of $3.10, an ad fee, because it did sell on an ad, I owed eBay 50 cents. The cost to ship was $6.40, good enough for a net return of $13.43, which is an infinite return on investment, and a net profit margin of 56%. This was supposed to be the third item to sell. It ended up being the second item to sell. The number 6 item sold third. So, does sell-through rate actually matter? Is it actually accurate? I would say yes, it's a good indicator, but just like anything else in this world, it's not perfect. So don't hinge everything on sell-through rate. However, sell-through rate should be an important factor when purchasing inventory. It should have some sort of sell-through rate. And there are times where if you want to go with your gut and take a risk on something that either has no sold comp data or has no listings, that's on you. And I'd recommend trying to do that with things. Go with your gut. Let your instincts try to guide you sometimes, because you'll be surprised how good your instincts are the longer you do this. The number 5 sale of the week is this vintage Oshuhut Company miniature Brody gambling slot machine with chips. I picked this up at a garage sale the first week I started reselling. It was, if you've been watching the show long enough, I've talked about a box of games I bought, and it was like 15 or 20 bucks. I can't remember exactly. And there was a bunch of board games and a bunch of toys in there. I knew going through this box that this was going to be the big item of the box. I knew this item was going to be where I made my money on the box back. And I believe we sold the roulette wheel for $15 profit. I've sold a couple of the card and board games for a couple dollar profit. I had my money already made back from that gaming box, but I knew this was going to be the one big ticket item in the box, and it didn't end up selling after a month. So this was a purchase price. I took the box, divided it by the cost and total of the games. The purchase price on this individual item was $3.33. I sold it on eBay for $26.95, which was $21 for the slot machine, and that was a best offer. I took a best offer on this. I had it listed at $25. So $21 for the slot machine, $5.95 for the shipping, fixed final value fee of 40 cents, final value fee of $3.56. This did sell on an ad, so I owed eBay 58 cents. The cost to ship was $4.43, which was good enough for a net return of $14.65, which is a 440% return on investment and a net profit margin of 54%. The number 4 sale of the week is this polo Ralph Lauren shorts, men's size 34, white all over, pony blue print. I picked these up for $3.09 at a Goodwill. Sold on eBay for $28.68, which is $19.98 for the shorts, and $8.70 for the shipping, with a fixed final value fee of 40 cents, final value fee of $3.79. The cost to ship was $6.23, good enough for a net return of $15.17, which is a 491% return on investment, a net profit margin of 53%. The number 3 sale of the week is this Cortelco red corded telephone. I picked this up at a garage sale for $3, and it sold on eBay for $34.90. That's $22.45 for the cost of the phone, and $12.45 for the cost of the shipping. The fixed final value fee was 40 cents. The final value fee was $3.39. This did sell on an ad, so I owed eBay 75 cents. The cost to actually ship this item was $8.76, which was good enough for a net return of $18.60, which is a 620% return on investment, which is a 53% net profit margin. Number 2 sale of the week is this vintage Dubois genuine cowhide baseball catcher's mitt, the Joe Tipton edition. I saw this at a garage sale for $5, and as you all know, baseball gloves are one of my favorite things to sell. I pick them up. My general rule is if they're $5 and under, I will pick up a baseball glove, with the exception of kids' gloves. This was there for $5. When I played growing up, I was a catcher all throughout school. So I love catcher's mitts. I've always had an affinity for catcher's mitts. I would have loved to have kept this, but when I saw it there on the table, I had a suspicion it was going to be worth a decent amount of money, more so than the typical 20 to 25. It's obviously vintage. I didn't know what year it was. Got it home. I did the research on this glove, the Joe Tipton edition. It's from the 1940s. This was in excellent condition from the 1940s, considering. And there was actually quite a bit of data on eBay, comp sold data. These usually went for anywhere from $50 to $75, depending on the condition and the time of year. It did sell on eBay for $61.60, which is $50 for the glove, $11.60 for the shipping, fixed vinyl value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $8.14, an ad fee of $1.32. The cost to ship was $7.17, which was good enough for a $39.57 net return, which is a 791% return on investment, good enough for a 64% net profit margin. And the number one sale of the week is this JVC double cassette deck. I purchased this for $3.09 at a Goodwill. It sold on eBay for $79.98, which is $54.98 for the item, and a $25 flat shipping fee with a fixed vinyl value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $7.75. The cost to ship was $17.93, which was good enough for a net return of $50.81, which is a 1,644% return on investment and a 64% net profit margin. And I'm glad this got the number one spot of the week because, as we all know, the U.S. Postal Service raised their shipping rates on July 1st for Ground Advantage. I'm not going to break down the increase in rates. There are plenty of other channels you can go to get that information. I know Commonwealth Picker's done a video on it. I know Rockstar Flipper has done a video on it. A lot of other big YouTubers who have been doing this a lot longer can explain the breakdown and the increase of the cost of shipping. But you have to evaluate what this change means for your business. I don't think it's the end of the world, first and foremost. I do think as a seller, it's obviously cuts into our profit and loss. What I can tell you for me personally in my business, what the increase in shipping means is I went through it, I read it, and I understood it. Free shipping is no longer on the table for me. I will not be listing any products in free shipping. Everything that had free shipping on it has been removed from free shipping. What I have branched off into and I've been experimenting with is flat rate shipping. So very similar how I did my free shipping that I showed you guys on a video a couple weeks back. I'm using that same calculator, doing the same process, finding out where it's going, calculating what it would cost me to send it to the furthest place away. So if it's, let's use Los Angeles as the example. I look at what the customer would have paid for ground shipping, and then what my eBay discounted rates are. And then I calculate where the average is for New York, Chicago, and LA. Because I don't want to cater everything to the Los Angeles shopper and charge everybody the most amount of money. Also, I don't want to list something that if somebody from Los Angeles buys it, I'm going to lose a ton of money on shipping. So the way I've done it is I've used the calculator. I saw what a customer would have paid if they'd have paid the calculated cost on the shipping. I see what I would have paid, an estimate of what I would pay under this new pricing complex, and then I price it accordingly. Next thing I want to talk about, I got my first VeRO takedown. I believe it was Tuesday morning. I woke up and I had an email from eBay saying I got a VeRO takedown from a corporation. And I want to talk about this real quick because the product that I got a VeRO takedown for was this Royal flat iron that I purchased at Goodwill. And I did the sell-through rate on it, and it had a decent sell-through rate. It was above 70, I believe. And I decided to pick it up, and I got it home. And when doing the research, I cleaned it up, and then I was doing the research for the listing. And when I researched it, there was a few things that were red flags on this to me. And I kind of ignored them because overall it looked identical to the Royal that I was seeing in all the listings. But the two things that really I noticed in all my research, going to different websites off eBay, what was on eBay, is I noticed that my pink one was the only one that had a pink power cord. And I also noticed that the little on-off box and temperature indicator in here, mine is pink translucent, as to where on every other one I saw, it was either solid black or it was pink but not translucent, or the color of the flat iron but not translucent. And I thought that was weird. I looked past those red flags and I was just continued on looking for pricing information. And then when I was listing the item and going through and listing it and doing the item specifics, the temperature settings, it wanted to know what the temperature settings were in Fahrenheit. And I noticed that this temperature setting here was in Celsius. So I did the conversion and I put it in for Fahrenheit, but then I stopped and I thought about it and I went back and I looked at the other pictures and all the other ones were in Fahrenheit. The little knob was in Fahrenheit. That should have been another red flag. That should have been another thing to clue me off to say, something doesn't smell right. In my brain, what I said was, maybe I got a European model and it's just in Celsius. Which should have made me think that was a dumb idea, is it's got an American style plug. Why would an American style plug be in Celsius? So I did get a VeRO takedown from the Royal company saying that this was a counterfeit, and it's completely 100% my fault. I had the red flags. I didn't think that they were red flags at the time. I didn't think anything of it, but now in hindsight, as I look back on the event, I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should have saw that this was a counterfeit. I didn't do it intentionally. eBay didn't mark my account for anything. I didn't get in any trouble. I didn't get any strikes or anything like that. They just said, hey, this company filed a takedown request. We're protecting you, and we're going to go ahead and remove the listing. And then they give you the option of how do you want to proceed with this? Do you want to appeal with the company and say this isn't a counterfeit? And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, those flags were there. I should have known that that was a counterfeit. And I proceeded to list it, and eBay had my back, and as soon as they got notified, took it down. They didn't mark anything up against my account. So now I know when I'm going through and doing the research on a product, I need to make sure that when those red flags pop up, I don't breeze past them in the vein of getting my listing done quickly and posted. If I have to eat the loss on a product, I eat the loss, but I don't want to post counterfeit material. So there's a good learning lesson for you guys this week. If that's something you've never thought about, because it's certainly something that I never thought about until I got my first VeRO takedown. What's good is it seems like the first VeRO takedown had no effect on my account whatsoever. eBay was very great about handling it. I didn't file the appeal. Make sure when you're doing your research, if you have those red flags, don't ignore them. Take the time and say, hey, is this product legitimate? Do I want to risk my account posting this to make a $15 profit? Last thing I want to talk about is this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel has been such a fun project for me. It has been a creative outlet for me, more so than I ever planned on it to be. As I've stated 1,000 times, this was meant just to be a log to keep accountability for myself, and one day go back and say, hey, I can go back and watch my whole journey as an eBay reseller. I did not think it was going to take off like it has, and it has taken off, and I appreciate you guys. All the credit goes to you. I don't know what about this is interesting other than it's just another factor in the niche of eBay selling. I hope I'm bringing value to the community. I hope I'm bringing knowledge. If not, I hope I'm bringing mistakes to be learned from. And the fact that you guys chose to hit the subscribe button and join me it's unbelievably awesome. This week I did find out that I was accepted into the YouTube Partner Program. So this is the first video that is officially making money on the channel, and that doesn't happen without you guys pressing the subscribe button and watching for over 4,000 watch hours. I did not think this could even be possible in 2 months. I thought if this ever happened, it would be years down the road, and it happened in less than 2 months. And I thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope I have provided you with some value, and I hope that you guys continue to come back. I hope I continue to entertain and educate. It's been a blast. No matter how big this channel gets, I'm not going to stop being me. It's the only person I know how to be. And what I can always promise you is you are going to get authentic sales data from eBay. You're going to get learning from my triumphs, my mistakes, my errors, the things I stumbled into out of luck. You're going to get that. And you're going to get honesty. You're going to get what actually happened. You're not going to get something that's sensationalized for the camera. I might do skits or openings or videos or time lapses for entertainment, but they're not going to be lies. I'm never going to lie to you. I'm always going to be genuine. It means a lot to me how much you guys support this show. The comment section is overwhelmingly positive with support. There's a lot of great genuine questions that pop up throughout the week, and I love answering those questions. I do want to do more things with the show. I do plan on one day like doing sourcing videos. Right now, my main focus is college, which, update on that, first week is done. I currently hold an A average in math because we did have 2 assignments and a quiz that got graded instantaneously. So I also had a project I turned in, don't know what grade I got on that. And then in my second class, I've turned in a bunch of projects and I haven't gotten grades on those. We're supposed to get grades on those by midnight tonight. So college is going great. I'm doing good. I mean, I feel I'm a lot smarter than I was at 20 years old, and a lot more suited for college at this age because my desire to learn is there. A lot of you have been asking me what I'm going to college for. I'm going to college for graphic design with a focus specific in web design. And this YouTube channel was also supposed to be a factor in that decision to go back to college. So not only is this channel about my eBay sales, but as I'm learning about graphic design, web design, you guys hopefully will see an increase in quality in this show as we go along. And that's all I got for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's super exciting how fast everything is moving and all the new things that are happening, all the learning experiences. College, starting college and doing the eBay store, because I set my processes up to where I can just walk in and everything has its process laid out. It's super fast and efficient. There's been no change in my life. Currently, I'm only sourcing on Wednesdays. I've cut Mondays and Fridays for now. I might go back to adding in Friday first, but Monday is pretty much my dedicated. I want to get as much of my coursework done for the week, and so I can ease my way through school the rest of the week. But nailing my processes down before college started was definitely the way to go. So even if you're not in school, if you're thinking of getting into reselling or you are a reseller, new to reselling, my biggest advice is figure out your processes. How are you going to take pictures of hard goods if that's what you sell? How are you going to take pictures of clothes if that's what you sell? How much space do you have for inventory? How do you want to have your inventory system work? Do you want to have a split inventory system if you're doing hard goods and clothes? I'm an everything seller, so I have 2 different inventory systems, but they work for what they're designed for. So thank you guys so much for joining me this week. I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you guys have a great week to come, and I will see you next Sunday.